The views expressed on this program are those of the producers and individuals appearing on this program and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Sun Prairie Media Center staff, its video service providers, or the staff and elected officials of the City of Sun Prairie.
Hello and welcome to Real Reviews. My name is Jamison Rabbit, and the man seated next to me knows the names of all of Santa's reindeer, and not just the ones in the song. His name is Mike Roth.
There's frankincense, silver.
Okay.
There is Bob. He's kind of a drunk. And what was the last one? I think reindeer.
Oh, reindeer.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's kind of like my first cat. Just was really uncreative and just
Kitty the cat.
You're going to be a reindeer.
This week we have several movies of varying success to talk about, but first, let's get into what we have on our streaming spotlight. It is a film that I'm talking about from Netflix. It is a film called Marriage Story, written and directed by Noah Baumbach. Stars Adam Driver as a man named Charlie and Scarlett Johansson as Nicole. And we begin the movie with what seems like a really loving couple going through mediation as they're about to separate. Charlie is a stage director, also owns his own small theater company in New York, and Nicole is an actress and kind of collaborator in his company. And obviously things are starting to fall apart for them. And so as the separation goes along, it brings her and their son from New York to LA. And what was an amicable proceeding is they agreed, like, we're gonna make this easy, you know, let's not make it tough on the kid and all this. It starts to get more and more nasty as more people get involved. She hires a lawyer, played by Laura Dern, which in turn forces Charlie to hire a lawyer. Originally, he hires a lawyer, played by Alan Alda, a very nice, comforting older gentleman.
He sneaks into films lately, doesn't he?
He's good with that. And then when that doesn't work, he turns to the nasty, high-priced lawyer, played by Ray Liotta, who is going for the throat. And as lawyers get involved, they almost push them to kind of points where they weren't planning on going with this divorce. And we see the ugly side of a relationship, of their relationship. The ugly side kind of starts to come out. There's this one scene in the movie that's really kind of the best part of this film, is this dramatic moment, big scene where there's just this blow-up argument between them, and it starts as them trying to make things work. Like, you know what, our lawyers are really screwing us over. We need to get back to what we were going to do, make this simple. And you think, like, okay, we have a peaceful resolution. And then words start getting said, and things get heated, and truth's starting getting told. And it gets really raw and really tough to watch. And, you know,
in a good way?
Yeah, I mean, like, in a way, like, if you've ever been in a relationship, a loving relationship, but had feelings of, you know, some things that you just bury because you don't say that to someone, you know, until the point where you boil over and something comes out that you regret saying. And this scene is just, it feels real, it feels raw, and it kind of pains you to watch. And as they kind of fall out of love, the pain really reflects how much they cared about each other. You know, you see that to hate somebody that much, you had to have loved him at some point, you know?
Yeah.
And it just kind of takes you on, the whole film takes you on this really roller coaster of all of the stages of grief, you know, and it's a really well done movie. you watch as a relationship falls apart and insecurities and old wounds and all these things start to come to the surface and just reveal themselves. And there's just really incredible performances. Adam Driver's incredible.
Yeah, and he's been in a lot of incredible things this year.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about The Report last week that he was in.
And then he's going to be in Star Wars and all
Yeah, he's in a lot of things. And and his dynamic with Scarlett Johansson is really, really good. And Noah Baumbach is just a great writer. And just dialogue is his strength and relationships is his strength. So I really enjoyed Marriage Story. It's sitting there on the Netflix for your viewing pleasure.
I think I have nacho cheese in my beer.
Mike and I have been eating nachos before the show. And I give Marriage Story 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Wow.
High recommend.
Excellent.
High recommend.
I wish I had internet. I would have watched
That's a whole other story for this week, kids.
We're not going to
stay tuned to the after show. Mike will tell you what happened there.
Watch me fume.
Yeah. Let's move on to what we have on the marquee, sir. And you have a film this week that you saw. I did not, unfortunately.
I am so
it's
sorry.
Heartbreaking to me. What do you have for us?
Playmobil, the movie. I'm going to do a quick recap of what Playmobil is.
Yes.
A lot of people confuse it with Legos as the lame Lego. It's really the only similar is the looks. When Playmobil came out, they had a toy that they wanted to resemble what kids think of humans. Had a bunch of kids draw some pictures, and they came out with a Playmobil. Of course, they shining it up to make it look like a toy, and now they have a movie based on this toy. It doesn't start off like the movie previews at all, where we think it's going to be about a spy and there's a lot of funny. It starts off in a tragedy where a brother and sister, the sister is planning on traveling the world and seeing life, and immediately she gets a call from the cops saying that her parents are dead.
This is a Disney movie?
It shoots 2 years ahead, and you see the sister has lost her dreams and hopes. She became a mother too soon, and she's not the fun person anymore. Her brother runs away, goes to the one thing every kid dreams of, the Playmobil Expo, where,
Okay.
no one... But Playmobil is also for toddlers, and really, it is a collector's thing.
Sure.
But it's a very rare niche. Most people collect almost anything else. And at that point, it becomes an extremely long advertisement for Playmobil. There's a lot of epic scenes where they show how great Playmobil is and how versatile it is. All their movie line stuff, which they showed Ghostbusters and nothing else. And it was just one that just and that was it. And the rest of the movie is in Playmobil fashion, where the sister, in a different persona of a Playmobil character, has to find her brother who was transported in a Playmobil Viking body.
Okay.
And then
it sounds really fun to me.
No, it's
okay.
not.
I'm sorry.
It starts off with a tragedy.
Yeah. Then the movie starts.
You have one really good comedian, Jim Gaffigan.
Love him.
He plays Dell, who is kind of a sidekick character. He has a beard and mustache. He drives a creepy van.
So everyone is in Playmobil fashion, right? This isn't like Lego Movie where we have human with like...
Well, that's the other thing. It is all Playmobil fashion.
Yeah.
But a lot of the Playmobil stuff that they showed are not things in their product line. They do have a Viking line and a pirate line and stuff like that. But when I back-checked all the toys, it seemed like they just used the Playmobil style. They were going to, at one point you thought they were going to use a Playmobil mechanic where the main character couldn't bend the knees, because Playmobil doesn't bend at the knees. That's a Lego feature.
Sure.
Not to compare, they're two totally different toys. But they quickly dropped that idea, brought it back for a second, and then dropped it again. The story is really generic. We have an emperor that is collecting all the best Playmobil things, but again, that sounds more like a shill for Playmobil because he wants to collect all the cool toys. And a lot of this is how great Playmobil is. That's the main focus of a lot of stories.
Playmobil to me was the toy that I played with at my grandma's house, because that was the toy she had. And I guess I'm playing with these because it beats like playing with that rock that's laying in the yard.
It's the same thing. Every time I saw a Playmobil toy, I thought someone mistaken this for a Lego.
Right.
And why would they get
and
this?
You try and make them interact, it doesn't work.
No, it's based on a German company. It's been around for...
those Germans.
like 75 years or something like that, but it's just never really caught on in the
Das
United States.
Playmobil.
Yeah, and that's because we have better toys than
We
this.
do have better toys. What did you give Playmobil the movie?
There was a joke that made me smile maybe once every 40 minutes,
okay.
so I gave it a 0.5.
No.
Otherwise, it was a completely waste of my time. It's a huge advertisement. The story is really predictable and slow. In the theater, it's showing at the box office right now. No one is showing up to this. It's been the worst opening weekend for any movie for decades. And I took advantage of it because I was by myself.
There you go.
I ran around the theater. I sat in every seat, whether I purchased
Good,
it or
good.
not.
Oh, boy. Oh, no.
Yeah, well,
don't let that get out. Tom's going to be coming on later. We can't let that get out.
I
You're just
have
sitting
no
in
witnesses
unassigned.
except for my incriminating evidence right now.
I see.
But,
Yeah, that's
0.5.
not good, though. The only good thing is, like, it's, I mean, if you want to see it, better see it now, because it's going to be gone.
It's going to be gone. And
soon.
you might look at this and go, this is toddler toy,
Yeah.
this is great for toddlers, because it does issues with parents being killed.
Grief.
There was one of the few action scenes where she drop kicks someone in the face and they fall off the edge of a
There we
wall.
go.
That could result in a death. It's not really a toddler
Mike's
film.
saying don't see Playmobil.
Don't see Playmobil.
Follow Mike's instructions. He's never wrong.
But come to the theater, buy a ticket anyhow.
Absolutely. The next movie I have on the marquee is a film called Honey Boy, written by Shia LeBeouf, directed by Alma Harrell, and it stars Shia LeBeouf, but not as himself. It's a slightly fictionalized telling of Shia LeBeouf's life growing up as a young actor, and he is played by two different characters, in a younger and an older version, and instead of going by Shia, the character's name is Otis. So we have young Otis,
That doesn't even rhyme.
played by Noah Jupe, and we have 22-year-old Otis, played by Lucas Hedges, and then Shia himself plays the father, James, who he's basically playing his own father in this movie, in this story of his growing up. And Shia, I mean, you don't know, I mean, he started as an actor very young in his career and has grown as we've seen him. And the film, it's a film that kind of really acts as a therapy session for him, almost trying to bring closure to a really painful relationship. And there's some hard moments in here. And as a child actor, his father pushed him really hard to kind of be the success. And he kind of was one of those who was living through his child, and was also oddly also employed by his child because his child was the breadwinner, and so he hired his dad, and that would get brought up from time to time, like, you work for me.
Yeah.
And that didn't sit well with a man who had anger and alcohol issues. And so there's a lot of really hard dynamics in here. And he was a child star who was relied upon. He was also preyed upon by, people who just saw him as a paycheck.
Yeah.
And it's no wonder when you watch movies like this that so many child actors are screwed up, And a boy who really, the movie is basically a story about the father and son relationship and the wounds. And one of the quotes he has in the movie is, "The only thing my father ever gave me that was worth anything was pain." That's a rough way to think. Like, that's the one thing my father gave to me, was pain. And it's a boy who just wanted nothing more than to just have a father, but realized very quickly that he was never going to have that typical dad. That just couldn't happen. A father who cared about him. There were times he did, but he was self-sabotaging and just did things, and demons got him that made it difficult for him. And so through this movie and all of these rough dynamics, you see kind of why a guy like Shia LaBeouf went through a rough patch for a while. There was a while there where professionally and personally, he was off the rails. And kind of the abuse heaped on him for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull at that time. And then he kind of went off the rails personally, and people were like, he's a nut job. You kind of start to understand his mentality, and now I think you'd agree, he's been putting out some pretty great films, some great art recently. Yeah. And I think this film was really kind of closing that chapter of his life and all that pain and processing it and putting it out into his own style of art. And
do you think he'll go to directing as a main thing?
I would love to. I mean, he didn't direct this, he wrote it.
Oh, okay.
But I think he can kind of do whatever he wants. He's a really interesting guy. Now, the film, Noah Jupe as the younger version of him was really good. The kid is very good, and the emotion that he brought was awesome. Lucas Hedges as the older version, Not as much. I was surprised. He kind of lacked something that I was looking for, but it feels like this is just a lifetime of closure, and he's ready to move on, and I dig it. It's a really good movie. It's a hard movie, and it makes you kind of question some things as a parent, maybe, you know.
No.
It just, you know, because there's some things in there that you're
Yeah.
like, oh man, have I done that? I hope not.
I have enough problems already with that, so...
Yeah, so I would give Honey Boy 4 out of 5 stars. It's a good recommend. Go check it out.
Very cool.
The last movie we have on the marquee, sir, what do you have for us?
I have Dark Water. This is directed by Todd Haynes, and this is a story about kind of a little guy trying to fight the big guy. It's very much a David Goliath type thing, but without a happy ending. What it is DuPont Company, for a long time, they've been making a product called Teflon, which has a chemical in it called PFOA, which is a long stream of carbon atoms with something else at the end.
A forever chemical.
It's
Never
forever
leaves
chemical.
your body.
And this is used for everything because it's so tough and things don't stick to it, and it's in everything. And this is the battle that's still ongoing, I believe.
Yeah, this is all based on actual story.
This is
real
an actual
people.
story. It started back in the 1980s where a lawyer found out that in his hometown, this chemical is poisoning some of the residents. And he studies into this. And this lawyer, he used to fight for the chemical companies, and now he is just trying to get retribution for all these people who are poisoned. And the digger he digs into this, the more scary he finds out that DuPont isn't that place that should really self-regulate. They will hide their dark secrets if they can. And it feels like a long movie, but at the same time, I think they do that on purpose to make people know that this is taking forever. People are dying while they're trying to figure it out.
They explain this case really well and lay out the timeline really nicely, I thought. It does feel long in moments, but I mean, they literally use a timeline in the movie to help you realize where you're at in this decade-long story.
A couple of decades.
3 decades we're going here. And I mean, they even take you back to the 60s with some of this research.
Yeah.
And so I like that. I like they explain the case really well. And this is what I was expecting from The Report, was a film that's dealing with kind of this really dense material and lays it out really nice, explains it. It makes you care about the people and not just the facts. And Mark Ruffalo is amazing at that.
Also makes you care a little bit about what you are consuming yourself.
Oh my God.
We're just talking
tough.
about one chemical. When you think of all the little things, like the Zantac that just came out, all the little things that we consume that people aren't telling us because there's so many self-regulation. I think this is not only a story about DuPont, but also a story about just where corporations are, and we should start thinking for ourselves and looking after ourselves.
And that's the thing with the story is it's basically, it's the unfortunate story that when you get to be that big as a company, you are kind of untouchable. And even the government, when they have you nailed, you can kind of get out of everything when you have that much weight and that much sway, and you control that much of the market of things. And you know, they tell you towards the end of the movie that 99% of humans have this chemical in them now, thanks to DuPont and 3M. But
this
as far
is not
as,
a natural substance.
No, and it will never. Your body cannot break it down and process it. As far as the film, I thought Mark Ruffalo as Robert Bilott was great. Like this is, it's a similar role to what he was in Spotlight, where he was the investigative journalist in that one. Similar, and he brings some. He really does a good job with that everyman feel, trying to unravel truth, and he brings this odd physicality to the role, like this hunch and just the way he talks and I really like that.
It gets more and more throughout the movie. He degrades as his character.
You see the stress. You see the weight literally pushing him down, basically. And there's a lot of other great actors. Anne Hathaway plays his wife. You also have Tim Robbins as the head partner in his firm, and Bill Pullman shows up. I love seeing Bill Pullman in a movie.
And a lot of the people from the real situation,
That's
such
the
as
thing
Robert,
that I really enjoyed is that
was great.
At the end, you realize that the actual people that were involved in this case are sprinkled throughout the movie, and they flash back and like this was a real guy. Remember seeing that guy? Remember seeing that guy? It's a real guy. I like that. It kind of brings it all together.
Not only does it bring it all together, it also gives an extra oomph of this is really happening. This is a true story. This is not a true story like a lot of other things that we run into. These people are backing this movie up. They're backing up with their very own selves. That is huge.
What did you give Dark Waters?
I give it a 4, and the more I think about it, the more I would like to give it a bigger score. because this is an important movie, but it does feel long, and there is a lot of movies out here that are just like this, but they're still all important. Everybody should watch this.
Absolutely. I agree. I gave it 4 stars as well. I definitely highly recommend it. You know, I got 3 movies I saw this week, all minimum 4 stars. You got that half-star jobber over there.
If you combine mine together, it's as good as your one.
Sure. Let's take a look ahead, sir, what we have coming out the weekend of December 20th. We have 2 movies, and I think they're both going to be pretty big on the marquee that week. The first one we're going to have is the Broadway musicals Come to Screen. I think the longest-running Broadway musical ever. Now you're going to see the theatrical version of it. Cats is coming.
Do you have your tickets?
Cats is my least favorite musical of all time.
Oh, wow.
It really is. I do not care for Cats, but that's not going to mean that people don't go out in droves to see it.
Yeah.
I just have an excitement level that is very low for this. That's just me. I just don't like the music in it. I don't like the whatever.
It's nothing like dogs.
I don't like kitty cats, all right? I think I might, my wife's allergic to kitty cats. I'm just not a big fan.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. What I am a big fan of, though, is the next movie coming out the weekend of December 20th. We have Star Wars Chapter 9, The Rise of Skywalker.
Just knowing you were going to say that, I just want to start clapping. Yeah.
The final chapter in this saga. And we're going to find out how it's all wrapped up, and however you felt about the previous movies in this saga, all answers should be revealed here, hopefully, in Chapter 9.
I'd like to have a deep discussion on which trilogy you like best after we're done watching
All
this.
right, let's do that.
All right, cool.
Let's do that. I'm really excited for it, and I have yet to see really anything about this movie. I've gone like full blinders. I don't watch the trailers. I don't see the ads.
Even accidentally, though, it's not as bad as it has been in the past, and I like that a lot.
I'm staying full spoiler free. I only got to make another week, and then I'm on it.
I'm still doing the Facebook thing, and I haven't had to remove anybody yet. Maybe it's because I removed everybody last time.
Yeah, so you already took care of that. They're already all gone. Yeah. Coming up, we're going to take a break here in a minute, and we're going to be joined by a really special guest. We have Tom Reichelt coming on, who does all this for us.
He supplies this too.
Mike
and
loves
this
the food.
is killing me. I want to eat this now.
Mike, in anticipation of this upcoming month and all of these movies that we have coming out and the holiday season, we got a holiday tree over my shoulder. Real quickly, favorite Christmas movie? It could be anything. Set that anywhere. It could be any movie you like to call a Christmas movie. What is your choice?
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who feels this way, but National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is my hands down favorite Christmas film. I know what yours is. We have this argument every year.
You don't know what mine is. Mine changes.
What is it? What is it?
This year, my favorite is Scrooged. I'm going to go with Scrooge.
Scrooge is great.
Yeah, it
Could have
is great.
sworn you were going to go with Die Hard, though.
Die Hard's a great one, too.
It is, yeah.
It's pretty great. I can't argue with Christmas Vacation. We just watched it the other night.
Yeah,
Love it.
Fantastic movie.
It's fantastic. All right, let's say goodbye for a moment. We're going to come back with our special guest. I can't wait.
All right, should I just move into the middle?
Why not? Let's do
All right,
that.
sweet.
All right, stick around. We'll be right back. All right, we are happy to be joined by a special guest this week. You know him, you love him. He is the general manager of this palace that we are sitting in right now. It's Tom Reichelt. Tom, thanks for joining us again.
Hi guys, thanks for having me back. I thought you were mad at me for not having me back in a while. I didn't know what I did wrong.
Have we been back since?
Yeah, you were, and you completely ignored me the last time.
Oh, yeah, we were in the theater.
It's all
Yep.
right, I still love you
Invitation to
guys.
the show. Well, we are glad to have you back, and we've been talking about this month being a great month for movies, the holiday movie season. There's all kinds of movies people are looking forward to, great ones that we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. You guys have something really cool going on here, kind of celebrating the holiday season. What can people expect when they come here?
Yeah, so we have some kind of classics that were going to come back for the holiday season. You know, for this week coming up the 13th, we have 3 choices. We have It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
And Polar Express. And as an organization, we surveyed 11,000 people. All right, now what do you guys think in Wisconsin is the most sought after kind of older classic holiday film? What do you guys think?
I'm going to have to say National Lampoon's because that's my favorite, and I've lived here for a long time.
I'm going to say, I'll go with It's a Wonderful Life. That's a classic.
Well, it's actually National Lampoon's Vacation. Now, here's the kicker. I believe now that I look at my notes, everyone has a Cousin Eddie.
Yeah.
And,
what are we doing?
So yeah, I think this is kind of makes sense. So yeah, we're very excited about that. $6. We've had some really good positive reviews, and it's a great time for the family to come up for some classics.
Absolutely. So that goes through December?
Yeah. So we haven't. This is our second week, and now
Okay.
through the 19th until we open a little movie called Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker.
I've heard some buzz about that movie. Yeah, it's one of those Star Wars films, Mike.
Is that with Kurt and Spock and all that?
Yeah, exactly. You also have a lot of specials going on around here all the time that people can expect when they come out. What kind of things
Yeah,
do
so
you offer?
the nice thing for the holiday season is, right now we have a $25 gift card, and with that you get a $5 snack cash that you can use at a later date.
That's just free money.
It's free money, concessions, anything you want to use it for, but it's a really nice, add-on stocking stuffer for gifts. And then also we're bringing back our 2020, Ultimate Tub, where you buy it for $20 and that's $4.25 refills all year long. So literally 4 or 5 times you paid for it, and it's fresh. I say collectible item, but maybe not quite collectible, but a very, very, very fun thing.
Well, last year when you had Spider-Man, that was pretty sought after. When I'd bring in my Spider-Man one, they're like, "Oh, I want that." But you change them up sometimes throughout the year.
We do indeed, yes.
You don't still have your
Keep some people buying.
You also have your Peter Rabbit one?
No, I did not get the Peter Rabbit one. Yeah, that.
Fair enough. So talking about holiday movies, and you said you surveyed 11,000 customers, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, wow.
You got a lot of cool results. What's your favorite holiday movie?
Boy, that's a good question.
There's a lot of them.
Boy, I'm not even sure if I can answer that. Off the cuff here. But frankly, all movies in the holiday season for me, where I can bring my family or friends, that to me is what this business is about. This is where you have memories. And frankly, after Christmas Day, as much as I love my family, I want to get rid of them sometimes. So this is why a great place afterwards to come and really enjoy. Still a family-friendly place. Sometimes with some friends, family, but also these choices we have.
Yeah.
The choices we have coming out are frankly more than we've had in the past. I mean, besides Jumanji and Star Wars, Uncut Gems.
Yes.
With Sandler. Little Women.
Little Women looks great.
Yeah, and then also Cats, a musical coming out again on Christmas Day. So some really fun and unique type of show is coming out.
And that's, you have students on winter break, families together, and it's a great time. Like I used to love it when I was a kid, is during Christmas break, we could just go to the movies during the day and hang out. Right. And, there's nothing else to do.
Yeah, and we're open every day.
Yeah.
Nonstop, because we want to make sure that we're there for all families.
Right.
We have a great experience here. And also we have some, we haven't changed our deals during this time either. On Tuesdays, it's $5, and if you're a loyalty member, free popcorn.
You cannot beat $5
$5 free popcorn.
When Star Wars comes out, typically go 24 hours for a couple of days. Are you going to do that again?
No, thank goodness.
I'm sure your employees are enjoying
the first
that.
couple of days we're going to be going to about 1:45, 2 a.m. in the morning, and then we're going to slowly cut back. But at the same time, if we have guests and we're selling out, we don't end in a sellout. We'll go all night long if that need is there. Sure. But with the advent of advanced screens and pick your seats and picking your time and dates, we haven't seen quite the need for that. But trust me, these things are filling out, so get your tickets fast, because Star Wars is an event movie. It's the end of a chapter, end of an era, end of Rise of Skywalker. And I tell you what, from what I'm hearing is I'm not hearing anything. I'm an insider. I usually get some inside information, and I'm not hearing a darn thing. So I want to see it as much as anybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exciting. It's just a great month for movies. It's a great place to come check out your films, and it's so easy to just buy ahead of time and pick your seat, like you say, sit in a beautiful Dream Launcher, and when it's cold outside, you heat your seat up in some of these theaters. That's something I always like.
A couple of those heated recliners are very, very nice. So but you gotta stay away from Cousin Eddie over here, because otherwise
he shows up on the front lawn. You don't know what's gonna happen.
He does.
I dispose my waste the proper way.
Well, Tom, thanks a lot for coming on again. It's great. I hope we have you soon. We appreciate all you do for us. You've been so generous with us, and all you do for this community. It's just a great thing that you guys have here.
Well, thanks for having me back again, and maybe you'll have me back again. I'm not sure. I've got to make sure that I grease the wheels a little more.
Right.
Yeah, this food is awesome.
Food for you guys.
That is new, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we have some jerk boneless wings here that we've made before, but people really like it, and it's just really kind of a fun thing to come out and kind of indulge in the Christmas holiday season. So
That's right. Nothing wrong with that. So next week, sir, we're going to be back talking about movies Tom had just mentioned. Jumanji: The Next Level is going to be next week. We're going to talk about that. We're going to be seeing Black Christmas. We're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
Richard Jewell. Who knows what else? Who knows what we'll be gabbing about next week? But until that time, for Tom and Mike, I'm Jamison.
I'm Mike Ruff.
There he is. Thanks for watching.